The eyes of the world are on the Red Sea, and yours should be too. Here in Israel, people are buzzing about President Trump's big announcement when he heads to Saudi Arabia next week.
We're going to have a very, very big announcement to make, like as big as it gets, and I won't tell you on what, but it's very positive.
Did the art of the deal maker finally make a deal with the Crown Prince to bring the Saudis into the Abraham Accords? If so, it would be a seismic diplomatic earthquake that would reshape the Middle East.
A lot of countries want to come into the Abraham Accords. You know, we have 4.
The UAE, Bahrain, Morocco, and Sudan have already made peace with Israel. Saudi Arabia is the crown jewel of the Islamic world, keeper of Mecca and Medina, the world's #1 oil-rich OPEC producer. The Saudi kingdom extending formal recognition to the Jewish state would have a massive ripple effect on other smaller Arab states. In 2017, in Trump's first overseas visit as commander-in-chief, the Saudis welcomed President Trump to the royal palace with a sword dance, the Saudi version of a state dinner at the White House. Now, once again, his first overseas visit to the Middle East comes as the stakes couldn't be higher. I traveled to Saudi Arabia in 2022. I noticed then an openness from the Saudi people to warm relations with the West. Meantime, Trump announced Tuesday the Houthis are waving the white flag of surrender after relentless Israeli and American airstrikes.
They just don't want to fight, and we will honor that, and we will stop the bombings. They say they will not be blowing up ships anymore, and that's what the purpose of what we were doing.
Israel's Air Force has been walloping the Houthis with devastating force. The IDF didn't just send a message, Israel delivered a reckoning. The massive strike came after the Houthis fired a ballistic missile at Ben Gurion Airport's main terminal. There's a biblical connection the mainstream media is missing. The Red Sea is the same body of water God parted for the Israelites. And just as Abraham extended a hand of peace to those willing to live alongside him, like the Abraham Accords nations, Abraham didn't hesitate to wage war when necessary. Genesis 14 tells us Abraham armed 318 trained men to rescue his nephew Lot, who was taken hostage. Abraham wasn't just a warrior when needed, he was a master of peace and diplomacy. Look at Genesis 21, where Abraham made a covenant with King Abimelech at Beersheba. They resolved their differences over water rights, the most precious resource in the desert, through negotiation rather than bloodshed. Abraham understood that lasting peace comes through mutual respect and fair dealings. Abraham knew when to make a covenant and when to take up arms against an enemy. This is Trump's moment to demonstrate he's capable of both, extending the hand of peace through the Abraham Accords while backing it with American military might. From Israel, for the Real Life Network, I'm Daniel Cohen.